After 5 videos worth of calculations, we can finally answer the question of how dangerous was the rumbling in Attack on Titan based on the evidence and science we can observe and not what we're told. If you haven't seen the previous parts, in the first part in this series, we proved that the total length of the 3 walls isn't what we're told. In the second part of the series, we calculated the world of Attack on Titan is much larger than our world. In the third part, we calculated how many wall titans there were, and it's not what everyone thinks it is. In the fourth part, we calculated how fast the titans were moving, and in the fifth part, we calculated how long the rumbling lasted. Sort of. We calculated what was shown of the rumbling happening, what the length of time the story wants us to believe the rumbling happened in, and the realistic length of time the rumbling would have lasted based on the evidence and science of what we actually see and observe. So let's put it all together. Hi, hello, welcome to the video. My name's Danahan, this is Overthinking Anime, and today we're using evidence to overthink and answer how much of a threat was the rumbling in Attack on Titan. In total, based on the evidence of the calculations we can measure, there are 185,308 wall titans. The width of their shoulders is 19.12 meters. However, as we can see they are not rubbing up against each other, let's say there's 20 meters or so between the shoulder of one titan and the same shoulder of the next one. Or in essence, 20 meters per titan. Provided they stood in this formation, this would spread out over 3,706,160 meters, or 3,706.16 kilometers, which in total would be this long, making all that were in this path in danger of getting trampled. But as we can see, they don't walk in single file lines. Upon attacking Marley, there seems to be roughly 14 rows between the front of the march and Eren. This is unfortunately when things get very messy and speculative. We don't actually know how many rows there are, and there is no clean shot of all the wall titans. From what we can see, my theory is there is the advanced vanguard in front of Eren, made up of 14 rows of close-knit titans who do the primary stomping, with the rest of the titans following behind them stomping out anything the vanguard didn't. We never get a full clean shot of all the titans, but if we say this shot of Falco flying over them shows the entire army, which we don't know if they do, there are around 10 to 14 rows that we can see, with presumably double that in the distance that we can't make out. In total, if we be generous, there are 34 rows worth of titans, 14 rows in front and 20 behind. This would mean there are roughly 5,450 titans per row. Since we are saying the titans take up 20 meters each, timesing that by the amount of titans in a row will give us the destructive width of the rumbling, making the calculation 5,450 times by 20, which gives us 109,000 meters, or 109 kilometers, meaning the primary destructive area would be around 109 kilometers, which would be the destructive force of this much. Huh. Looks a lot less impressive, doesn't it? But even if we were to say the titans behind the vanguard equally spread out among 100 meters each, they still only cover around 654 kilometers, which is this much land. If you're in the purple line, yeah, you're dead. That's as simple as it is. If you don't get out of the way, you will get stomped. But if you're in the blue line, as long as you get out of the way of a 20-meter step every 20 seconds or so, provided you stayed on the x-axis and just ran left to right to dodge them, based on the titans moving at 20 kilometers per hour, the 34 rows would pass you in about 10 minutes. But let's just be mean and say double that. Great, 20 minutes of moderate jogging versus death. Which one are you choosing? The only real problems would be the dust making it hard to see where the titans are, the potential heat, and the other people in your way. That's really what will get you killed. People running into you, knocking you over, but provided you could dodge them and dodge the steps, yeah, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, the Titans would have passed you. So provided you could survive that, sweet, you're safe. I mean, the land's flattened, all your houses are gone, all your possessions are gone, and the world has been turned to dust, but you're still alive, you got your health. What are you complaining about? So how far would the Titans have gotten in the 5 days they were moving? We know they walk at 20 kilometers per hour and swim at roughly 294 kilometers per hour, as proven in the previous part. So were they moving fast enough to stomp out 80% of the world's population? No, obviously not. Just look at this map. You can very clearly see that is not 80% of the world's population. That's probably not even 8%. It's probably not even 0.8%. It's nothing. From the wall to the ocean is approximately 453 kilometers. This would take the Wall Titans 22.5 hours to cross, and the sea is 2,390 kilometers, which would take them roughly 8 hours and 10 minutes. This would mean by the time the Titans reach Marley, it is roughly 30 hours and 40 minutes since the rumbling began, or 1 day, 6 hours and 40 minutes. From the evidence the series shows us, it suggests the rumbling lasted roughly 120 hours or 5 full days. Since we theorized the rumbling began around 2 PM and the Titans reached Marley at approximately 8 PM, this aligns with our theory, just 24 hours quicker than the series suggests. This would mean once the Wall Titans reached Marley, the rumbling would last an additional 90 hours. If they are travelling at 20 kilometers per hour, this would mean over 90 hours the Titans would travel roughly 1,800 kilometers. Since we already know that 1 pixel on this map equals 17.318 kilometers, 1,800 divided by 17.318 equals 103.93 pixels. But since I'm mean, we're going to round up to 104 and really screw over the Marley population that ever so much more. Meaning, going by the evidence we are shown and use our calculations to prove, and not what we are told by the series, the total, absolute, destructive power of the rumbling that devastated the planet and destroyed this world would cover this much land. Huh. But that's not much, is it? Since we theorized the total length of the Titans in the rumbling is 109 kilometers and the distance they travel is 1,800 kilometers, it would make the total damaged land of Attack on Titan to be roughly 196,200 kilometers squared, which sounds like a lot. The total landmass of Earth is 148,940,000 kilometers squared. Since we're saying the Attack on Titan world is 3 times as large, multiply Earth's landmass by 3 gives us 446,820,000 kilometers squared. Meaning the destructive force of the Great Rumbling that threatened the world and brought it to its knees and eradicated all of humanity destroyed a whopping 0.044% of the planet's landmass, or roughly 1,820 of the amount of land Eren claimed he had flattened, which is roughly the same size as Cuba on Earth, which has the population of around 10 million people. Now, that is a lot of people. 10 million lives snuffed out. That is tragic. That is so sad.
Yes, very sad. Anyway.
Is it 80% of the human population? Provided the world of Attack on Titan is 3 times as large as Earth, which would mean it has 3 times as many resources and has enough for 3 times the population, this would put the world of Attack on Titan's population at roughly 24 billion people. Meaning Eren wiped out a ginormous, massive, exponentially large percentage of the world of 0.0416% of all life on Earth, or 0.125% of the population of Earth if the world of Attack on Titan also has a population of roughly 8 billion. And even if we say the Titans spread out further beyond the advanced vanguard, they would have demolished this much land if we were being generous. Which again, isn't that much. So no, the rumbling didn't squash 80% of the outside world. In total, the Titans crushed 196,200 kilometers squared of the world. 0.044% of the world. With all that said, there's only one more question to ask. How many Wall Titans would there have needed to be to do as much damage as implied in the series, and how long would it have had to have lasted to do so? Check out this video here to find out.